The narrative opens with deep lore about a little nightingale stuck in a safety bubble, warned that the outside world is basically a server full of griefers. But then, Miss Unicorn pulls up with stories of epic landscapes and cozy vibes, convincing our protagonist that staying inside is totally ruining her potential to explore the map. Fast forward to the present, the outsider returns early to hype up Fina for her debut adventure. He spots her storybook and realizes she is ready to enter her main character era. Even though he is low-key, stressing about safety, he knows he cannot gatekeep the outside world from her forever. The outsider casts a protection spell that is basically cheat codes for safety, warning Fina about bad sorcerers who are definitely the villains of this arc. He sets strict rules about daylight, which feels like a tutorial constraint that is going to get tested the moment things start getting interesting. Miss Unicorn gets hired as a shadow bodyguard because the outsider is too paranoid to let Fina solo queue this mission. She negotiates her payment like a pro, refusing to do anything that would ruin her reputation, and agrees to keep Fina safe while letting her think she is independent. Fina runs into some local kids who are convinced she is a vampire because she never touches grass. It is honestly wild how they spun a whole conspiracy theory just because she stays indoors. They are terrified until Fina steps up to debunk the rumors and prove she is not actually undead. After clearing up the vampire allegations, Fina explains she has just been sick, which the kids accept surprisingly fast. They invite her to join their game because they need a fourth player, proving that in this server, being available to play is more important than your mysterious backstory. The kids explain Greedy Gobbler, which is just hide and seek with extra steps and some potato-themed lore. Fina is confused by the logic, but eager to participate. It is giving first-time playing a new game energy, where you have no idea what is happening, but you are just happy to be included. Fina is absolutely failing at the game and cannot find anyone. Instead of taking the L, she decides to use her imagination to summon the Great Magician. It is a creative workaround that shows she is not afraid to use her unique skills to clutch a win when the standard mechanics aren't working. The world shifts into a magical storybook mode, where Fina uses magic brushes to solve environmental puzzles. It is a visual feast that highlights her power to reshape reality. She navigates through obstacles, turning a boring search mission into a high fantasy side quest that is honestly way more interesting than the actual game. Thanks to her magical hacks, Fina tracks down every single hiding kid. They are shook by how fast she found them, and Fina gets her first big W of the day. It is a wholesome victory lap that cements her status as a valid member of the friend group. Fina returns to base to give the outsider the highlights of her day. She is buzzing with serotonin from making friends. The outsider jokes about her imaginary friend choices, but is secretly relieved she survived without triggering any world-ending events. It is a sweet moment of validation for her independence. Day 2 launches a new quest in the Kingdom of Rubbish. Fina meets a character trying to pull off a princess title in a literal dump. Fina is not buying the branding and suggests a name change to something that fits the gritty aesthetic better, showing she has an eye for marketing. The character rebrands as the Reticent Detective and drafts Fina as her sidekick. She drops info about a serious investigation involving bandits and missing kids. The tone shifts from cozy adventure to mystery thriller, and Fina is ready to help crack the case despite being completely unqualified for detective work. Scavenging through trash for clues is not the vibe, and Fina is struggling to find anything useful. She decides to call in Miss Unicorn for an assist. It is a smart move to use her resources, bringing in a high-level ally to help bypass the tedious parts of the investigation. With Miss Unicorn's help, Fina uncovers a map that leads straight to the bad guys. She brings this critical loot to the detective, who confirms it is the key to solving the case. Fina proves she is not just a sidekick, but a valuable asset who can actually move the plot forward. Fina takes a moment to thank Miss Unicorn, realizing that her world has expanded massively thanks to her guidance. She acknowledges that leaving her comfort zone was terrifying but necessary for her character development. It is a genuine appreciation post for the mentor figure who made it all possible. The mood dips when Cassandra shows up with major main character syndrome, demanding magic help and trying to buy Fina's services. She is being totally rude, but Fina spots a flicker of vulnerability and decides not to cancel her immediately, choosing kindness over clapping back at the disrespect. Miss Unicorn is ready to block Cassandra for her attitude, but Fina insists on helping because she senses real distress. It shows Fina's empathy stat is maxed out. Miss Unicorn agrees to support her, proving she is the ultimate support character who trusts her leader's judgment even when it seems questionable. Cassandra drops the act and admits she needs a butterfly fairy to help her depressed friend Savio. It turns out her toxic behavior was just a defense mechanism. She is desperate to help her friend find closure, which totally redeems her character in Fina's eyes. Fina agrees to the mission but refuses the cash, asking for friendship instead. Cassandra tries to act cool about it, but she clearly needs a friend. They shake on it, forming an alliance that bridges the gap between their social standings and sets the stage for the next big event. Fina grinds her magic skills and successfully summons the butterfly fairy. She shows off her success to Miss Unicorn, proving she is ready for the main event. It is a satisfying payoff to her training arc, showing that she is capable of pulling off high-level spells when it counts. The squad assembles to execute the surprise for Savio. Cassandra tries to micromanage the operation, but her terminology is cringe. They set up the scene, hoping this magical encounter will be the therapy session Savio needs to finally start healing from his past trauma. The plan backfires hard when Savio recognizes Fina as Serafina from his past. Instead of being comforted, he gets triggered and bolts. It is a plot twist that leaves everyone stunned and forces Fina to confront the fact that her past is catching up to her faster than she expected. Cassandra returns in a panic because Savio has ghosted them completely. The situation escalates from an awkward reunion to a full-blown emergency. The group realizes they need to switch gears immediately to find him before he gets into serious trouble in the dangerous city streets. They gather intel from Mark, who saw Savio heading for the city gate. This is the worst-case scenario because the area outside the walls is strictly PvP-enabled and full of high-level threats. The group realizes Savio is walking straight into a danger zone without any gear. Using the map from the earlier detective quest, they deduce Savio is heading to the bandit hideout near the lake. It is a terrifying realization that connects the B-plot to the main story. They know they have to move fast or it is game over for their friend. They arrive at the hideout and find Savio held by the bandits. The villains think they have an easy win, but they are about to find out they messed with the wrong crew. Fina and Miss Unicorn prepare to engage, proving they are not afraid to fight for their friends. The battle erupts, and Fina goes full magical girl mode, summoning allies to defend the group. She completely owns the battlefield, protecting everyone and proving she is no longer the helpless victim. It is an epic display of power that shifts the momentum entirely in their favor. After the dust settles, Fina drops some wisdom on Savio about the Prejudice Monster. She reframes the conflict not as individual hate, but as a systemic issue. It is a profound moment that helps Savio understand the bigger picture without traumatizing him further with the gritty details. Cassandra apologizes for her earlier behavior, realizing she was wrong about Fina's people. The group reconciles and heads back to safety. It is the end of the conflict arc, replacing hate with understanding and solidifying a friend group that is built on shared trauma and victory. Safely back home, Fina invites the whole squad for a tea party. It is the ultimate vibes restoration move. Everyone is excited to hang out in a low-stakes environment, proving that they can just be normal kids despite the crazy adventure they just survived. Savio brings a sentimental gift to the party, returning a toy Fina lost years ago. It is a symbolic gesture that restores a piece of her past. The moment hits right in the feels, showing that their connection survived the time apart and is stronger than ever. Fina has a brief crisis of conscience about the secrets she is keeping, but Miss Unicorn reassures her. She tells Fina to enjoy the moment and not let adult problems ruin her childhood. It is valid advice that gives Fina permission to just be happy for once. The story wraps with the tea party in full swing. The outsider joins the chaotic mix of kids and creatures. It is a perfect happy ending where everyone is safe, fed, and together. Fina reflects on her journey, knowing she has the best support system to handle whatever the sequel throws at her.